So when we started this process, it was kind of a little overwhelming at first to see this. Hi, Jenny. To see this huge building with all the possibilities, and then what is it that we would want to do? What is it we would like to do? And for me, one of the things that I know right off the bat is I can come up with all sorts of ideas and all sorts of things to do, but if there's no buy-in from the students, then it's just my idea, and then you kind of hit a dead end with it. And so as we started getting closer to this, and as a matter of fact, you'll be able to know that the youth did draw this as you see things like basketball thingy, you know, different things like that, hearts in certain places, you know. So we put together a group of students and adults that helped meet and talk through what our needs were, what we wanted, and what we'd like to do. And so I've asked Andrew if he would share just a little bit about that, and then I'll get into some of the logistics of it. So here you go, Andrew.
Well, good morning, y'all. We've got a lot of really exciting things going on down there. God's really working, and I just want to thank y'all for your financial blessings and prayer, because we've really had a need for that recently with this new building. We've got a lot going on with that. They're about to start construction, and we are just really excited to get things rolling and really just see some results and have that area for a new updated space and get out of the old building and into the new. We're really just excited to open that space up for new ministry and just open up for new after-school programs, and it's just a really great thing for us to be able to open it up to the community and for the kids that don't have somewhere to go after school. So for them to come in and do homework and be able to be ministered to, it's just a really great thing. And I just want to thank y'all for all y'all's support.
So like you said, as we sat down and started talking in the meetings and kind of we walked down there and walked through the space, is what is the needs of our students. And there's several people in here that work in our school district, and I drive a bus for our school district. And the most overwhelming thing is the amount of junior high and high school kids that don't have anywhere to be. I have kids on my bus that I will drop off on a Friday afternoon and pick them up Sunday morning wearing the same thing, and their parents haven't been home all weekend. And kids that talk about going home at like 13 years old and trying to figure out how to do their homework, and nobody's home, and what do they need to do. And I know John and I have talked about the need for that for years, about how do we reach that group. And so, it would have been a real hard challenge for us, because in our current space, everything that we do is in one room. So we eat in the same room, we have Bible studies in the same room, we move that stuff out to play games in the same room, and then all of a sudden there'll be kids packing there to do homework in the same room, and it becomes a big challenge for us. And so this other place, if you'll kind of look on what's been drawn, Preston, if you don't mind pulling that picture up. Casey's going to have like cool pictures, and I'm having to like Pinterest search for pictures. But this right here, as we started talking and the group met, they got excited. I mean, I said, y'all just write down some of your ideas. Whenever they came back, they had this thing sketched out and had sent this picture to me and said what we would like to do. And you see those two smaller rooms down on the bottom there. That's kind of what they want those two rooms to look like. And have places, little pods is what they call them, where kids can come in after school and do their homework and have a place to be, a safe place to be, and that they can work on that stuff. And so basically they would be able to come in from the time school's out. I think we figured by the time the buses are running and all that sort of stuff, you're looking at 4 o'clock, 3:45, 4 o'clock time junior high and high school kids can get from Brownsboro to here until 6 o'clock in the afternoon. With that, there definitely is some challenges that we will have to have help with. A lot of these kids do not have transportation, and I think that for a long time that we have, I'm saying have turned a blind eye to the need that we have got to offer some transportation for our church programs, or we're never going to reach the group of people that we really could be reaching out and meeting. And so with that's going to come this challenge of we're going to need people that can help us drive. We're going to need people that can, that's available, that'll go love on those kids. And when the kids get in the van and they stink because they hadn't had a shower in a couple days, that you can just smile and deal with it and be like, hey man, how's it going? Do you have deodorant? So some of those kind of conversations that some of y'all and I've had to have before as well. So we're going to need transportation. We will need people that can be here. Because the goal is not to just give them a room to do homework in that we leave them in. The goal is that we were there. And what you'll start finding, in my opinion, and what I've seen is that you'll have kids that sit down and start to do homework, but then you start getting into some real life. Hey, I need somebody to talk to. Things are rough at home, or this is where I'm struggling in my life. And to be truthful, at a conference that I went to, they talked about youth ministry. And they said that a good youth minister, like the best you can find, can really only reach 3 or 4 kids at one time. Because you don't have time to spread yourself out and be everything to everybody. And so it becomes this, takes a village mindset that we've got to have people. And in this church is a wealth of people that could be a ministry to these kids. And so what I need, more than anything, is volunteers that can be here. You may not be able to be here every day, but you may, hey, I can do it Monday. I'll be here Monday, 4 to 6. And so that kind of comes with some of those challenges. The rest of what we do is going to be our normal Sunday morning, Sunday night stuff, Wednesday night stuff. Like instead of meeting in here, we'll just be meeting down there. The benefits will be we'll have other places it'll be a separate place for everything, and they'll have more room to spread out and do those things. So the real new thing for us is the after-school program and being able to give some space like that. That'll, I think they drew in here like a little place that they can have a coffee bar and some snacks and different things like that. Because that's what we need is junior high kids on coffee. But the last thing, and this is not anything that's going to have to be added in, but I think it goes without saying. The ministry that our youth are the most excited about is Project Transformation. They just can't get enough. And they're all excited about how cool is it going to be to be able to start hosting Project Transformation down there, to put all of our materials in that front parking lot when people are driving by, and to be able for people to see what we're doing and what we're about. And so I'm excited as we get close to this, and I'm excited for all the opportunities that it gives. But like I said, to me, the biggest challenge is I just need people. You don't have to be the greatest teacher. I won't even ask you to teach. I just need people there that can love on kids and make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. So for me, mine is very short. That's all I've got. We don't have any pictures of stuff. As Andrew said and as Brian had said, we have not started construction on our side. I know that they met last week and that this plan that I handed out to you was accepted. And so now we're just kind of seeing where everything shakes out and how we can get started on that. So before I turn it over to Casey and her team, I just wanted to make sure if anybody has any questions, and sometimes I talk fast and forget things, and so if I've left something off that you really need to know about. Yes? Okay.
Our youth is our future of our church, and we have to, I think that what you're saying is important. It's not a question, I'm just making a statement that, like, mine is going to be going off, but I want her to come back and have her kids here in this church, and it's the future, and I think that we have to really focus on the future and keep this church going.
I agree.
Pictures are really good ideas. How possible with the volunteers?
How possible is it with the volunteers?
How do you feel? You think it's enough?
Oh, to be able to get that many volunteers?
To make it work. It's a great idea, but you have a lot of things, like getting the kids there.
Yes, I do. Yes, ma'am. Because some of that stuff can be double duty things, you know. I'm going to pick on some of my volunteers, but if Kaylee was like, hey, you know what, I can be there on Mondays, well then one of the things that we've kind of talked through is that there is a place for her kids to be as she volunteers in our children's after-school program that she'll talk about later, probably right there. And then, so then you'll have Kaylee can be there, but hey, Kaylee, when it's done, can you and whoever else is here like drop these kids off? And so it's not like I need a team of 10 every day, but you know, a couple would be great. So I do think it's possible. Yes, ma'am.
What came to mind is I work till 6 o'clock every day, so some of
Yes.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. Like they're just a way to fill into all those places. So those are good questions. Yes, ma'am.
Sean has made volunteers become more apparent. I would like to suggest putting more something about food for people to sign and just dropping off and volunteer because a lot of times it's just kind of like.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. Giving people an opportunity to sign up when they know how they can do that. And I think some of the unknown is what is expected of me. And so we can talk at any time after this, and I'll fill you in on what it is. It's just so yeah, I think you're right to be able to. I had something I was going to say along what you said, and I forgot. Okay, other questions? One more need, and then I'm done. This is what I was going to say. Another thing, too, that can be very helpful is Casey, being one of the educators in the junior high and high school, Hallie also, is that these kids also need people to study with. That there'll be times, they do tutorials from February till now, trying to get them ready for testing and things, and so they'll also, if you're, look, I don't want to go in there and play foosball with kids, but if somebody's having a hard time with English, I can come up there for a little while and help some kids, and so there's needs for that as well. So, all right, if there's no other questions, I'm going to turn it over to Casey. Okay.
We're just a team of denim and black today. We didn't plan it, but we are. I've asked Emily to come up here and help me through a little bit of this. I'm going to start off with the kids ministry side and what's going to be new there on Sunday mornings and such like that, and then she will step into the day school side of that. So, Kristen, maybe, yep, okay. So with the kids ministry, whenever we first got it all together to move down there, or to start work down there at the Family Life Center, we got together as a group to kind of decide what did we want to see down there. And so you can see through the pictures, this is the new kids space down there, just about ready. You can see that we chose some neutral colors for the walls and the flooring with pops of color through a little bit on the flooring. There's a big space on the picture on the left. On the picture on the left, you can see the big pop of color in the carpet. We chose neutral colors for that for several different reasons. One, we didn't want it to get outdated too soon. And also, we wanted to be able to use the decorations from the kids or the decorations from whatever it is that we are currently learning to go in there, so we didn't want to go too theme-ish on anything. So we chose to keep neutral colors and just add pops of colors through the decoration. Each room is color-coded. You can go to the next slide. Each room is kind of color-coded in that it has, there's an orange room and a blue room and a red room. And you can see that in the cabinet, one wall painted a particular color. And then there's carpet. The gray area is carpet. Then there's tile where the sinks are, so that if there were problems with the water, it's just that little tile. Also, the carpet is the carpet squares. So if there were a stain or a snag or something came up like that, we don't have to refloor the whole thing. It's just one little square, peel it up, and put another one back down. So that is what our classrooms will look like, or do look like. Okay, this summer, potentially, we will be able to start summer Sunday school down there as soon as they give us the green light that it's ready to be used. We are ready to start our summer Sunday school. Our program this summer is going to be How to Be a Superhero. Ties in with our Vacation Bible School theme. In the summertime last year, we gave the regular Sunday school teachers the summer off to kind of catch their breath and recenter themselves and be ready to take on the kids in the fall. So we're going to do that again this year. Give the Sunday school teachers the summer off, and this will be the 12-week series that we do with the kids. We will continue to start in here at 9:30, just like the kids do now. They'll come here first. They'll come and sit through the children's time. And after the children's time, instead of exiting this way, they're going to exit this way, where we have the vans ready to transfer them down. We talked about walking down to there. We just feel like if we keep them in a controlled environment, that might be a little bit better with our little bitties and even our older ones that might like to go astray. So we will drive them down to the Family Life Center, have our Sunday school down there, and then we will drive them back to this same drop-off spot. And we'll try to time it to about 10:40, 10:45, to where if the 9:30 service goes over a little bit, we won't be too big of a distraction, hopefully, and we can kind of monitor them coming in to not be a disturbance. We'll make sure it's all clear before we let them get out of the vans. But, so that will be the drop-off spot. And then they'll be returned to sanctuary. Oh yeah, so volunteers will be in both places. We will have some down at the Family Life Center about 9:15-ish, because I know that there will be some that just get dropped off there instead of meeting here at 9:30. So we will have some there prepared to take kids at 9:15. We'll have some here prepared to take kids at the 9:30 time. We'll have our designated drivers that'll chauffeur down there. So that's our plan for Sunday summer school. Sunday morning Sunday school, not summer school. Okay, and then also down there we get to have Vacation Bible School. This year's Vacation Bible School theme is Hero Central. So we're just going to have a superhero summer at this church. Hero Central will be in July 17th through the 21st in the evenings, like we've always done. Dinner at 5:30, VBS from 6 to 8:30. We will have a kickoff night / registration night on that Sunday. That event is in the planning stage right now, but we will do that. It is for pre-K through 6th grade. And something we're really excited about this year, our kids team met and talked about this and talked about how we can reach out kind of to what Sean was talking about, to those same kids that we've talked about for the last couple of years down at the lake, and how can we get them and what can we do. So one thing we talked about that we are planning for is kind of a lake outreach opportunity this summer. We will take our VBS on the road a little bit and go to hopefully 5 different communities there, and just from like 9:30 to 11, just play games with them, maybe do a hands-on craft with them, expose them to the story of the night or something like that, bring them a little sack lunch or treats, snacks, something like that, and just be able to start building relationships with them and offer, let them know about what's going on down here, and try to get them to see if they're able to come, or if we can possibly go back and pick them up, or anything like that, just to establish the relationship, to start spreading the word, and to hopefully get them here. So that is the kids' inside. I guess maybe I should stop here and take questions before we get to the day school. Any questions about like what Sunday morning is going to look like, or how VBS is going to run? Yes, ma'am. Children's Church will be still in the 11 o'clock hour, and we will just meet in Heritage Hall. I felt like that would be the easiest way for that, since it's just a shorter period of time. Okay, so we've had a team of people gathered to talk about the day school opportunities and the after-school program for that, and I'm going to let Miss Emily talk to us about that.
This is our logo that we have. So our day school is going to be Anchor Academy at Chandler First United Methodist Church. We thought this logo was good with the primary colors. We just thought it was really good. We'll keep going. So we are going to start out in the fall with an after-school program, is what we've decided is going to be the best route to do that so far, and then hopefully in January transition to the full day school program. So currently we are looking for a director. We already have some people who are interested in that position, so we're taking applications and looking for that person. And then also we'll be looking for 3 to 5 additional teachers to do the after-school program. Casey's already talked to Tanya Gray at the high school about maybe some high schoolers in the work-study program, is that what it's called, where they leave school early and go to a job, or some people that are wanting to be educators, so already giving them that experience. People who are interested in working with kids. So we've already got that rolling. You can keep going. We're going to shoot for 30 students right now for the after-school program. It'll be students enrolled in pre-K or Head Start through 6th grade at any of the Brownsboro schools. We will be getting the word out before school ends about this, so that they will know to be looking this summer for registration, so they can sign up for that. And It'll be after school until 6 o'clock. We are talking with the bus barn to see about what it would be like for buses to be dropped off here, and then also picking up kids if necessary, if the bus didn't work out. And we'll have registration in July. We will have a registration fee, then they'll just pay a weekly rate for that. Throughout the year, we'll probably have a supply fee. That's pretty typical of child care programs to fund the extra things throughout the year. When they get here, they'll have a snack. They'll have homework time where, those teachers will be available to help them. They'll have their homework done before their parents get there. All that done before they go to practices or anything else they need to do. There'll be quiet time. They'll have play time. We've talked about maybe doing like a weekly scripture, so having the scripture sessions or little worship time with music. Kind of just depending on what the need is for the kids that are there. And then, like I said, in January, we'll have the full-on launch. This will give the director we've hired time to plan curriculum, prepare the rooms for all the kids, find qualified help, good teachers that are going to teach these students.
Yes. Okay, and so our last little bit then would be, with all of this, just like Sean said, it's going to come a need for volunteers. So summer Sunday school, like I said, we've let our regular Sunday school teachers have a little time off to regroup and recenter themselves. I will be leading summer Sunday school like I did last year. All I need is 2 people each Sunday to come hang out and help out with the crafts, help out with the snack. The only thing that you would have to teach is that at one point we will divide into lower elementary and upper elementary, and I will give you a list of questions to kind of prompt them through the discussion of the story. So 2 people each Sunday is what I need for that. Of course, with Vacation Bible School comes a ton of volunteer opportunity, from I can help clean up, or I can help cook, or I can help teach, or I can just sit, or I can take people's names to register, or I could probably drive a van down and pick some kids up if we found some people that needed to come. So tons of opportunities for that. I mean, probably a good 70 people or more is what I need to help with Vacation Bible School. And then on the day school side, we are working with Tanya Gray, and we'll be able to, look at their avenues to get help, but also if you felt the need to volunteer for that and be able to come up there and just hang out with kids and develop those relationships with kids. I teach at the junior high, and I know a lot of our kids don't have a mom or don't have a dad at home, or they don't have a grandparent in their life, or they don't have a big sister or somebody that they can lean on and talk to and help them through. And in the end, that's what our whole ministry is about, whether it's the youth side or the kids side or the day school side. The whole thing is just to develop relationships with the kids and ground them in God's love, and to help them, anchor into that and be able to grow in their life with the skills that they need and the knowledge of the love of God that they need. So tons of volunteers, and you can get with me. I'll get with you after this. I'll stand right over here if you already feel led to volunteer in something. If you think of something later, you can shoot me an email, drop me a note in the office, or whatever is easiest for you to volunteer. So, are there any questions? Yes, ma'am?
The day school, what ages is that office?
So for the after-school program, it'll just be pre-K through 6th grade. For the day school side of it, it will be when they get their shots, about 6 weeks, up to ready for kindergarten. So our goal in that too was to be able to completely minister to a family. Like if I have an infant and I have a toddler and I have one in elementary, it's a one-stop shop. Like we can help you out with all of that.
You guys are way too easy. Last chance for questions. Thought you might be waiting for me to stand up before you started handing off questions. Well, so you heard a couple of themes through each one of the presentation. The first is, this is going to be a great building. It is going to be a wonderful facility. It is going to be exciting. It is going to be new. It is going to create a lot of interest in our church. But is it going to make disciples of Jesus Christ? No, it's not. When we use the word tool, what that means is God has given us an incredible gift. And it is a gift. I think anybody who's been a part of this community, a part of this church, thought we would have this building 3 or 4 years ago, be in this position, they'd have said only by God's grace. And God has been good to us. But the other thing that we need to hear is that the only way we make disciples, the only way we fulfill this vision is for every person to say, God, what are you calling me to do? And to do it. To remember that part of being a church, and one of the things that I heard through all the presentations is the way we minister, the way we make disciples is through our children and youth, we're developing relationships with people. We want to develop relationships with kids and youth, and buildings don't develop relationships. I guess you knew that. People develop relationships. It's people who feel the love of Jesus Christ in their heart, and they say, you know, I want to share that. Like Casey and Sean said, you don't have to have any special skills. You have to be willing to give of your time and say, I'm going to be present and love on these kids and love on the people and the families that are going to be here. And so what I promise you is in the very near future, maybe as soon as next week, we will have a way for you to sign up, a way for you to say, hey, I'm willing to be here at the after-school program 1 day a week. Here's the day that I can do it. Or, hey, I can come and help tutor some of the youth that'll be here during the week after school. Or, I am volunteering to pray for this ministry in these ways. Or maybe it's a both and, not an either or. I'm going to pray, I'm going to be present. And I just want to echo one last thing that Sean and Casey said, and that is, to each of you who has prayed for, given generously, who has worked hard on these vision teams, through the building committee, through our administrative board, through working on these transition teams, thank you. Thank you. God is doing an incredible thing, and God is doing an incredible thing through the people of this church, and will continue to do great things. So be in prayer from now, and if you feel led to be a part of these ministries, even if it's today and we don't have specific ways for you to sign up. Casey said she would be glad to visit with you. I know Sean would be the same way. Or catch me and say, hey, here's what I'm willing to do. We will jot your name down and we will be in touch.